Hello and welcome back to another video from me, FPL Crusader. Call me Luke if you wish. It's been a long slog this season, but we are almost there. We're in the middle of Gameweek 37, as we know. Congratulations, Crystal Palace. Well done, lads. One of the things that does is throw a spanner in the works for a lot of teams chasing Europe. But there is still 1 week to go after the games. So for Gameweek 38, if you need to win your mini league, or if you want to win your mini league and you're in a position to either extend the league or get up there, or if you just want to go out with a bang, maybe some differentials could help you get there. So today's video is all about the differentials. So I'll be focusing on a couple of forwards, quite a few midfielders. I'll even finish off with some defenders, which I promised I wouldn't do. But I think there's a couple of defenders we can look at. That'll be very brief, and then I'll let you go. So it's a pretty quick one today, but let's crack on straight away to what we expect to happen in the expected stats for Game Week 38. And obviously, Mo Salah is right up there. They're expecting 8 points from him. However, he got hooked at halftime, so you just don't know. We don't know anymore. It's unreliable to expect Mo Salah to be the same Mo Salah as he was at the start of the season, because they're essentially have nothing to play for. 7.8 points. Palmer could also get 6.3 points. He was very close. He had a couple of shots against Manchester United, but he still felt like he was lumbering around a little bit. Whether that's having more players on the pitch compared to last year that could actually control the game flow. Pedro Neto is almost a deterrent to Cole Palmer's points because he was playing so well. And Maresca's tactics seem to favour wing play rather than going through the middle, which is Cole Palmer's modus operandi last year. But I think Neto actually looked far better on the ball than Cole Palmer did. However, as we know, he can blast away any given time. So 6.3 points, you'd expect that to happen. Saka has Southampton away. Should be the easiest game of the week for them, or game of the season for them. 6.2 points, expecting to get some points. Aston Villa have Manchester United away. Now, how will Manchester United feel? They've got nothing to play for. They lost. Well, they might not lose in the final. I shouldn't say that, but they could lose in the final. Either they're going to lose in the final and be generally pissed off, or they're going to be on such a high from winning the Europa League. That'll mean that they are in the Champions League next season. I still expect Aston Villa to do mighty well. You see Bailey there as well. Interestingly enough, he's rated higher than Rodgers here, but maybe they know something we don't. But Watkins will definitely get some points. Then they've got Bailey next. And Mbeumo, unlucky to get a penalty save. He could have had 15 points. It was really a 9-point turnaround net save from Leno. I'm not going to lie. That made me very happy. I had Mbeumo in my team, but I do support Fulham. So for those who miss out on the Mbeumo points, tough luck. It's a tough one. But the intent was there. So you're definitely going to keep him next week when they got Wolves away. It should be very interesting. Chiesa, if he plays, expected to get 6 points. If he plays, we're not sure he's going to start with Chiesa, Diogo Jota, Cody Gakpo. We just don't know, do we? Liverpool could put an entirely different team up this week in Game Week 38 that we've seen, especially with Crystal Palace. You'd expect them to be on the beach now. They've just won the FA Cup. There's absolutely no way they need to go to Liverpool and try and fight for a victory. They can just go there and have fun, which could be dangerous given their attacking prowess. But do their players ever need to play? I'm not entirely sure. I wouldn't bother. I'd just let them enjoy what's been a pretty frustrating season for Chelsea fans, but they do walk away with probably their biggest moment in their history. So congratulations to them. Eze was the hero in the FA Cup. Forwards. Let's have a look at some differential forwards this week, and we're focusing on Bournemouth, Evan Nielsen. We're focusing on Welbeck. That could be João Pedro, so there's two there. I'll let you make that choice. But I think João Pedro is a better option when I think Welbeck's a better option even with João Pedro there as well. And Cody Gakpo. He's playing extremely well. He's a forward. I'm not sure if he'll be a midfielder and reclassified next year because he doesn't always play in the central position. Bournemouth have Leicester at home. It should be relatively straightforward. And if there is a hunt on for Europe, they should be able to do it. Evan Nielsen is a Champions League striker. We know he led Porto from Portugal through the Champions League and also their domestic league. So it's his first year here, and he's looking better and better every time. 3.7 points. I'd expect 5 or 6 from him. Leicester, even though they've had their fairy tale with Jamie Vardy getting his 200th goal. I expect Bournemouth to do very, very well. Please note, they've still got Manchester City to play later this week as well. So it is what it is. Hopefully he comes through that unscathed. Cody Gakpo, Crystal Palace at home. You can see he's predominantly on the left there, but I actually like him when he plays in the centre, and that's what a forward should be doing. So maybe he will be a midfielder next season. His expected points are quite high. He's expected to get 5 points compared to everyone else. 4.7, I should say, but close to 5. So compared to the other two, he's much higher. I expect Cody Gakpo to finish off the season extremely well. He's been one of the surprise packages. Seems like the Dutch connection at Liverpool is doing very, very well. Welbeck, 4.5 points. We know how good he is. He's not injured, so you probably want to back him. They're playing Tottenham. Win or lose in the Europa League final, Tottenham will be someone to get at. So I'd expect them to do very, very well this week, Brighton. The forgotten man of Bournemouth, Justin Kluivert, in the middle of the season, 2 hat-tricks. Everyone loved him. He scored us points every single week. Then he got dropped. Then he got benched. Turns out I think he had a child, something like that. Anyway, is he back to his best? Will he finish the season on a high? I think he could. As I said, Leicester at home. He's just under 10% owned, pretty close to it. He's only 5.9 million. So if you need to make a transfer for someone, let's say you're getting rid of Eze, perfect idea to bring in Kluivert. He's a 90-minute man. He's 5.2 points. He's on penalties. Look at his heat map there. He's all over the front third of the pitch, so he'll be attacking the ball. He takes corners as well, so he could get some assists. If he can whip it into Evan Nielsen, then I think he should be doing relatively well this week. I'd expect a haul from him this week out of any other week in the season, realistically. 10% owned, home to Leicester. They've got nothing to play for. They're coming down off the Vardy party. Expect this man to get some returns. Speaking of returns, Gabriel Martinelli, he's looking very good on the ball recently. Southampton away this week, a plum fixture. He's only 2.8% owned. That's because everyone's dumping into Bukayo Saka because there's no one else that's a premium that's doing any good, realistically. Haaland, Salah, Palmer, they're all failing. 2.8% owned for Martinelli, 6.5 million. He is a 90-minute man. He has been trading starting positions with Trossard for the last few weeks or mid part of the season. But as I said to you last week, him and Saka were supposed to be the future. The wings are sorted for the next however many years, and all they needed was that striker. They never really got the striker, and I think that's part of the reason why they bottle everything. But 90-minute man, 5.6 points. If you can bring in a differential and they score you around 6 points, that's an absolute win as far as I'm concerned. Harvey Barnes, Everton away. Sorry, Everton at home, it should say. 4.5% owned. He's 5 million. He's a 90-minute man, 4.9 X points. But we know Barnes has the explosion inside him, not the diarrhea, but he has absolute goal explosion. He's probably the most confident person in that Newcastle team apart from Isaac. And Isaac didn't play against Arsenal. So who needs to take up the reins and score those goals? It could be him, or it could be Gordon, or it could be Murphy. But let's be realistic here. It's going to be Barnes. At the time of recording, we don't know why Isaac didn't play and how long he won't play for. Do they need to risk him on the last day? Potentially. I mean, they're not going to get second, but they can keep third. Barnes looked much better on the ball than Wilson, but if Isaac comes back, that makes Barnes's options for scoring much, much higher. So I think you do pretty well. Gordon, Barnes, and Isaac will be a really good front three for Newcastle next year. Murphy can slot in just behind them, and I think that'll work very well. Speaking of someone who slots in just behind, Kudus behind Bowen could do very well this week. Away to Ipswich, he's only 2.5% owned. He's struggled in the new West Ham team this year, as they all have, but 6.2 million. He's valued that for a reason, because he's a very good player. He's a 90-minute man. He's expected 4 points. Look at his heat map. He's all over the shop. Pretty much both wings. It goes a bit greener in the middle, but put Bowen in the middle, put this guy on the wings, and I think you've got yourself a powerhouse duo. Kudus has had a pretty underwhelming year by his own expectations, but I expect him to do pretty good against it, which is the type of bloke who likes to finish on a high. So I expect him to do very well. If you're looking for a cheeky punt and you got 6 million up your sleeve, I'd probably go Martinelli or Barnes. But if you really want a cheeky punt and you don't have Bowen and you already have that Arsenal coverage, then Kudus could be the man of the moment. I don't usually like talking about defenders, but I'll touch on a couple. Ben White, Fabian Schär, and Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Wan-Bissaka first. He works so well with Jared Bowen. Ipswich away, expecting to get some returns, if not a clean sheet. I think they could do very well. Fabian Schär, why have I got him instead of the other Newcastle defenders? Well, basically because his returns completely outweigh everyone else. I think Livremeto's got 1, Burns got 2, and this bloke's got 6. He will be in a starting position. He's expected to get 3.1 points. They've got Everton at home. Everton are playing better under Moyes, but I don't think they'll travel to Newcastle very well, especially if Newcastle need to win. So I expect Fabian Schär to do good. Likewise with Ben White, he's got his starting position back. He's played 90 minutes the last few games. He needs to get back on those returns, and whether or not this is the right system for it, I'm not entirely sure. He should definitely get a clean sheet, but I think he can also get into some attacking returns as well. He needs to make those overlapping runs, and then he'll be fine. But if you need to bring in a defender from Arsenal, he's the only one that's basically not flagged. So let's go with Ben White. Let me know in the comments who you're backing for your differential for Gameweek 38, and that's where I'll leave it. Thank you very much for tuning in. My name's Luke, FPL Crusader. Have a good week.